Get away! They claim they created Christ and all religions with their twisted lies. Satanic leader will pose as Christ, will actually slaughter their sacrifice. True believers know the word and know the deceiver shall be heard. Persecuted shall we be, but in the end now we shall be I'm out of time. The devil is after me. That's the way it goes. Whatever's gonna include. I'm gonna say no. Here we go.
WTR News Radio 55. And quickly to Ace Genovese, former occult band member who was in the group Ace in the Hole. Ace, how much were you into devil worship, if that's the right word?
Well, let me give you a little background. First off, I became a born-again Christian in 1995, and what led up to that, my background was I was Roman Catholic, like Tom here, and I didn't believe in God or the devil, really. It was funny. I went to, Sunday church because the parents made me, you know, and I didn't really believe. So I went on through life, and I played music from the time I was 11 years old, and I always wanted to be a rock performer. So for about 15 years of my life, I was playing music. I was in Ace in the Hole. We were, in 94, we won Buffalo Music Awards for New Original Group. We were a wild, theatrical, heavy metal, Ozzy kind of type band. Ozzy
Head-banging heavy metal.
The heavier the better, yeah. That's what we were.
Like Ozzy, was there a satanic overtone to your music?
More than Ozzy, yeah. We had quite a theatrical show, but the thing is I sold it off on a hype.
Right.
But like I said, I didn't really believe God or the devil at that point.
Did you get caught up in the hype?
See, that's what happened. What happened was I would have coffins on stage and all kinds of stuff, spitting blood and biting girls on the neck and the whole 9 yards.
What a guy, huh?
But the whole thing was I started getting into the hype and the lifestyle that I became this character off stage.
Jeez.
Okay, so I started playing around with Ouija boards, tarot cards. I didn't believe in any of that junk. And one time I was alone at my house, and I had a Ouija board. And I said, just out of curiosity, I said, okay, devil, if you're real, prove yourself to me. You show yourself to me. I challenged Satan. I was alone. So touched this Ouija board, and that thing went nuts by itself, and it was moving all over. I was barely even touching it.
I get goosebumps.
And it spelled out, it said, I am Legion, and I am going to kill you.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I didn't know Bible then, okay? I didn't know nothing, but it gave me the heebie-jeebies. I ran out my house, okay?
Did I buy the book rights to this? I want to make a movie out of this.
So I left the house, tried to get a hold of myself. The first place I ran to was a Catholic church. I went down to Basilica. That's how I walked around, prayed to some statues, and, drank some holy water.
I don't blame you. I really don't. That's probably where I would have gone.
So I didn't come back later that evening, and here's the interesting part of the story. Now, went to bed later that evening. Now, at the time, I had a live-in girlfriend, and we're sleeping, and in the middle of the night, I wake up, and I hear somebody in the house. Okay. I go to sit up, and there's a crushing on my chest. I can't get out of bed. I'm wide awake, mind you. Not drinking, no drugs, nothing. Totally sober mind. My head is clear. My eyes are open. Entering my room, I see 3 men enter and surround my bed. As they get closer to me, they're not men, from what I can make out. They were long, lanky beings, large heads, sockets, no eyes, reaching towards me. I couldn't move. I couldn't cry out. I tried to scream out to the girl that was beside me. I could not. I was paralyzed. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't believe in God, that's a good time to start believing in God, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I had a cat in bed with me at the time, too, and I know I wasn't nuts because he saw him, too. And he was bushed out, the tail big around like a raccoon, ears back, couldn't move.
He was
Cat
paralyzed,
was paralyzed, could not move. Now, they're getting closer to me, surrounded me. All I started saying, somewhere from my Catholic past or whatever religion I picked up on, Jesus, save me. I kept praying over and over in my head. Now, as I did that, the crushing eased off, and they would retreat a step back. The whole 3 of them.
When you prayed to Jesus,
I said, Jesus.
This repelled whatever these things were.
Step back.
We believe they're evil beings, perhaps the devil himself. Close enough.
You tell me.
Close enough.
Okay.
Perhaps the Buffalo Common Council, who can be sure.
So anyways, they kept taking steps back as I would pray and say, Jesus, save me, over and over and over. And I mean, with every ounce of breath in me, I was praying.
Oh,
and I
Lord,
was
we
shaking.
pray.
I mean, these things retreated finally to the outer hallway by my bedroom, and the crushing left right off, and then they were gone. And I went running out and looking for them and everything. They were gone. But right then, I mean, that's when my quest for God began. Because I says, well, all right, Exhibit A, the devil's real, okay?
Incredible story. And I guess what might have happened is that you became so much into the devil thing that the devil embraced you in reality. And that was the turning point for you to become born again.
And the thing was, a lot of people say it's hallucination, this and that. I was like, listen, man, I didn't do no drugs. I mean, I've been a juvenile diabetic all my life. I've been a sick kid all my life. I didn't need no drugs and being messing up my health anymore. I was sober, clear-minded. That happened. Now, the next thing was I began my quest for God. First place I went was the Catholic Church. Now, they sound like my friend over here to my right, Tom, right?
Tom Flynn.
They sounded like him. They didn't want to acknowledge anything about the devil. They basically told me I was nuts.
Is that right? A lot of sympathy from the Catholic Church?
Yeah, lots of it.
I got a lot of sympathy from the Catholic Church when I tried to get excommunicated, too, but that's another story.
You tried to get excommunicated?
Law about 20 years ago in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've never seen so many confused clerics in my life.
That is an unusual request. But
So they basically laughed me out of the place. So here I am feeling distraught on my own, don't know what to do now, don't know what to believe. Who am I going to turn to? Well, I turned to Christ, turned to God. I mean, I was praying to Christ. They left. So I said, okay, Jesus, make yourself real in my life. I hit the floor in my apartment. I on my hands and knees, and I said, God, come into my life, make yourself real to me. I said, you find me a church to go to. I don't know nothing. And I'm a, rock musician. What do I know? I know how to play the power chords. So it says, you find me a church. Now, here's the interesting turning point for me. This really cinched it up. I mean, because I was as diehard, didn't believe in God or the devil as this guy here. And what I just said is, find me a church. Now, the next day, there's a knock on my door. Guys I haven't seen in years, okay? Used to play in a band with me, right? My roommate. I didn't even recognize him. Short hair, clean cut. I'm like, who are you? He's like, Ace, I'm your roommate. I was like, John? And he's like, yeah, come on in, man. All right. So we're talking, and I said, so what's new in your life? He's like, I'm married now, this and that, and everything. He goes, I'm serving God. I'm born-again Christian in the Bible, believe in church. And I said, my heart just went, Blah. I said, wait a minute. I was just praying about going to a church. I asked God to show me the church he wanted me to go to. Coincidence? Are all these things coincidence? Now, how many coincidences do you need before you start saying, wait a minute, hold on,
And was he with the old-time Baptist
Yeah,
church?
yes, he was, and I've been there ever since. But
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Wow. That is unbelievable and one of the most compelling stories I've ever heard. Do you still play the music? You gave it up?
Pretty much gave it up. I mean, when I sit around at home, I strum now and then. But I mean, I'm more interested in the things of God, working on the things of God.
You're not biting off any bats' heads anymore.
I never did.
Never did.
I used to bite out throats of people.
Yes,
no,
much more
those days
sanitary.
are over. Those days.
Well, that's part of the story.
There's Christian rock,
That is an unbelievable story, and I appreciate our caller's patience on hold here as Ace Genovese told us his story in a nutshell, and man, you ought to write a book on this.